Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We're in the cut with Alex Bent. We had a good talk last time, but I was thinking about it when we were setting this up. Is that the last time I actually saw you was at a show, which are super not happening anymore,
Yeah.
which is pretty crazy. Yeah, I guess talk about when you found out that this was really happening and what was going on in your life when you went when pre-quarantine till now, what was happening right before, what kind of headspace were you in?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I'm being honest, I was actually kind of getting close to burning out. I feel like right before it was happening. So in a way, it was almost
A blessing.
kind of good time. But yeah, I don't know. We actually when Saskatoon here, we were supposed to have the Juno Awards that weekend, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was aware things were getting bad, and I kind of not sure what was going to go on, but. Yeah, everything shut down pretty intensely, all in one day, and it was a little scary. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think everyone's feeling the same way. But yeah, it was pretty bizarre.
Now I feel you about that thing. It was kind of burning out at that point. I was kind of lucky. I just graduated this year, but I graduated in February just because I had courses banked or whatever. So
right, yeah.
I was literally at kind of that same thing you're saying. It was getting to a point where it's we need a little time off. So the first 2 weeks of this or 3 weeks of this, I was I needed this. This is a little,
Yeah, I was cool with it.
Not the same.
I was sort of okay with it. I mean, yeah, in terms of the changes to my lifestyle, I was okay with it for the first couple weeks. But yeah, then eventually it's just yeah, this is clearly not ending.
For real. I want you to tell a story about how you thought of the name Alex Bent The Emptiness, because it's a fire name, and I think you got to get your credit for coming up with
it. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I first started with the name. I mean, obviously the name Alex Bent, but The Emptiness was kind of a name I was trying to go by for a while, because I was trying to do the kind of dark industrial kind of Nine Inch Nails kind of thing. But I don't know. Then I just kind of switched course a little bit and kind of changed it to Alex Bent and The Emptiness. And I guess from the beginning, I was always writing music from a place of I actually kind of felt fairly isolated at the time, more so just socially and by choice. And I was writing a lot of stuff that I wished was happening to me, or I hoped would be happening to me. And I felt like I was kind of living through my music. So I almost kind of credited The Emptiness as a member of the band, because it was such a kind of driving force in what was making me write the music itself, I guess. So but I don't know, it's switched up a little bit. I mean, obviously I'm growing up and life's changing and lots is changing. So it kind of has a different meaning now, I guess, or it's kind of figuring out maybe what it means now. But yeah, and in the beginning too, I was just performing as a solo artist too, and just by myself on the stage with some visuals behind me. And so it was kind of almost addressing the obvious that it's just me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if that's an over explanation, but
I like it. And the things at the end, addressing it, it's obviously different now from when you first thought of it, but I feel it's still cool because it's just addressing it. Whatever you want to think about it is up to you, but we're just addressing it, and you can.
Yeah, it could mean a few different things. It could mean existential dread, or it could mean the lack of any other band members or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of up to your interpretation. So
Exactly. Talk about you going from being a drummer to becoming a lead solo artist. What was the transition between those two things?
I don't know. It was oddly enough, at the at the time it was like kind of middle of high school, so it was like I got a couple like pretty decent like parts in the musical. So that was kind of like a bit of a confidence boost to like maybe I could do this, I guess, or maybe I actually like have a voice that I should maybe be practicing a little bit more. And then I'd just be playing in like metal bands, and they'd need someone to sing the chorus or whatever, or do whatever. So I would start doing that, and then I don't know, I started getting more into the aspects of that, and tried writing my own stuff. And I don't know, eventually I just kind of quit every band I was in and kind of got tired of dealing with everybody else and just wanted to do my own thing. So I guess that was kind of like the only option. So
True.
but yeah, I mean, it kind of felt natural to me. It just kind of, as I got more interested in it, the opportunities started to come. So it was, yeah, I don't know, it was pretty tight.
Pretty tight for sure. Last
Yeah.
time we talked, you said Frank Ocean was your favorite artist at the time. Who's been your favorite artist over this past like quarantine time? Like who you been listening to the most?
Yeah, it's tough to say because I mean, this year feels like 2 years, but I feel like I've been listening to a lot of like Gambino. I was really into the project he dropped this year.
Okay.
Really into Playboy Cardi's new album, actually, like a lot.
Okay.
And I don't know, I was listening to a lot of Beastie Boys too this year. That's probably like my top artist of the year, oddly enough. Got really into like Beastie Boys story, that Spike Jonze doc. So yeah, I
still gotta watch that.
went down that rabbit hole.
Yo, that happened. I'll say this about quarantine too, like having the time to watch all these things as well as listen to music get you down these rabbit holes, because like I've always been a huge Teddy Pendergrass fan, and then I watched something on Teddy Pendergrass on like a documentary or something, literally 3 weeks in a row, just everything Teddy Pendergrass. It does it to you for real.
Yeah, you're gonna be the most knowledgeable person in the world by the end of this.
literally, yeah. That's how they get us for sure. It's been I think more than a year now since Baby dropped, and
yeah,
we've basically been in this thing where we know there's no performances happening. We know everything's gonna be kind of different. Even us being able to talk like this, like last time we talked was in person. So the fact that we got to do some travel is like everything is different. Did you have any like parts of that in your mind, when you were making music in the time after Baby? Because I think, Baby was a good project. I like Baby a lot. I thought you were getting good responses on Baby, and obviously whatever momentum you might have felt from Baby has to feel different once this whole thing goes down. So where was your mind at when you were creating, over the past 8 months or so?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little weird because I guess when I started, I guess like maybe around this time last year, I was starting to get a group of friends together on a weekly basis, and we've been making music just kind of in this private location after hours on Sundays, and we just get together kind of like randomly and make just whatever into the middle of the night. And so I was really excited to kind of ride that out and record a lot of music that way and collaborate a lot with people. And then when this all happened, it was a bit of a shock because kind of forced me to be creating by myself. So yeah, it's a little bit of a different feeling now, and I feel like I'm kind of adjusting because normally I would always want to release something and celebrate with everyone and be together. And I'm kind of, I guess, an extrovert in that way, and an introvert in other ways. But yeah, so I don't know. It's been a bit of an adjustment period. Now it's just more isolated music, I guess. But I'm trying to find ways to reach people more and like sending out like CDs or merch stuff or doing stuff like that, just so that we can kind of still stay connected and it can still sort of feel like an event, even though I can't actually get people in a room and do stuff like that anymore. So I'm still kind of figuring it out, but hoping to do more like interviews like this or live stream type stuff too. But yeah, it's like a totally different approach now going into this. So
yeah, it's so weird, but I think like you're one of the artists I'm not worried about just because you make real music, and I think that like if you make real music, this is like more like your time to shine. Because when people hear that, especially when you're like either not leaving the house or you're only all you're going is to your job where you got to wear a mask for the whole day and then trying to come home and be normal. So the music that is a soundtrack to that is pretty important. You
Yeah,
had
for
this,
sure.
yeah, for sure. You had this thing that you
Cool.
said last time about writing a verse, and you were like, usually you write a verse and then you'll leave it and go do something and then come back to it later. And sometimes these
Yeah.
verses will be a little different. Now this is Corona time. You can't really leave nowhere. So are you still like having one verse and then going back to it later, or are you writing more, the whole song at once now just because you can't go anywhere?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, the process is a little different now, I guess. But I'm still able to like leave it, I guess. I'm just like going to a different room as opposed to a different place. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been still kind of going through the same process, but yeah, I don't know. I think I usually just like to, when I get to a point where I feel good about something, I don't want to like get to the point where I ruin the feeling. I really like the high of finishing or getting to a place that I'm happy with on a song. And if I can just like stay with that and like listen to it for like 30 minutes and then whatever, fall asleep or like give up and try another day, that's cool with me, because those kinds of feelings kind of fuel the next creative bursts, I guess. So so I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. Obviously, all this time has like allowed me to reflect a lot more on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I still I feel like need that time to just kind of like get some clarity, and yeah, I mean, it's nice. Not a whole lot of distraction now too. So
Not, I feel that you said clarity. I feel like that's huge because like you have to like we're all in the same spot where we have to like relearn whatever our craft is. Like that's the part that I think like even like especially when what you're doing is creative and you don't want to force it, because there's that saying where it's like when it comes to creativity is like vomit. If it's like a burp, if you force it, it will turn into vomit. So
right, yeah,
it's like especially in these times you don't want to force anything, you want everything to feel right. So I totally feel you on kind of getting clarity with those things. You did something really cool and putting these singles on CDs. I thought that was a fire idea, and the art for that is fire as well. Talk about
thank you.
your idea to do that and kind of the responses you've got from that, because that's a like A1 idea.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. I just I knew that I wanted to put out this song, and but I just didn't really, I guess, feel right just putting out a song. I felt like we'd put a lot of work into it, and I don't know. I've gotten to a point where, I mean, obviously, I've been making music for a while, and I would have these thoughts where I'm like, oh, that'd be a cool idea, but obviously, I don't have the funds, or it's not a big artist, so no one would really care. But obviously, yeah, it's just I feel like I need to start doing these things instead of just brushing them aside and just being like, oh, I'll do it someday or whatever, because obviously nothing's guaranteed. So yeah, I really just wanted to launch a song in a different way, in a direct way, and actually develop some sort of like direct communication with the people who are listening, and more of like a personal relationship with people, instead of just dropping it into like the internet and just hoping for the best and seeing if anyone just happens to like it or click whatever. So yeah, I just that's how I connect with music. I obsess about music, and I just want to let people obsess about my music if they want to.
Nah, that was a bar for no, for real. I thought the idea was amazing, and like what you said about like having these ideas and like saving them for later, so to speak. I totally get that. I've had so many of those, and I'm like, I might never do this if I if I just keep leaving it in the notebook. And
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
the thing is too, you're saying like, oh, if I was a big artist, maybe I'd do it. Like, it's fire idea, period. And it's like, if a big like, I'm so happy that you did it, because it's like you can get that credit for doing that, putting that together, and having that amazing idea. Like, regardless, like that's there. We saw you do that. So, and I think it works, because definitely like I was ready and up for the single when you hit me with the single. Watching for the CDs, I was like, yo, this is sick. Like, I can't wait to hear what the single's gonna be. So it definitely worked.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten good response so far, it seems, and yeah, a few people have written me back and said like, this is a preferred way now to receive some music. So yeah, I might do it again. I don't know, but I'd like to do more interesting stuff like this because it's fun. And when people do this, I feel like there's not a whole lot of my favorite artists doing things right now too. Like everyone's kind of being quiet and taking breaks and stuff. So I don't know. I just want to do more stuff like this to make myself feel good too.
No, for real. And I was talking to Deja a couple months ago, and she was saying the thing that scares her is like, is she gonna put music out and it's gonna be fire, but people are gonna sleep on it? And
Right. Yeah.
it's like I can totally understand that fear, because it's like, quality is quality. Not some people might not hear, but quality is quality. And I think that like doing things like this is great for someone like you, because you're putting out that quality music that should be heard by more people. So it's like this is another avenue for it to be like, okay, obviously he's legit. We got to check him out. Two Sides is a
Thank you.
single. By the time this is out,
Yeah.
everyone will have heard it. Um, Two Sides is a track. It's a real track. There's like a few songs in there to me. Like you got a couple of transitions. I feel like just talk about putting that song together, because that song bumps.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. I've been working on it for a little while. Um, yeah, I don't know. I kind of just started with the chords a little bit, and a friend of mine, songwriter from Chicago, Christian Minus, and I have been kind of sending things back and forth, and something that he was working on, I really liked the melody of, and then I just kind of started writing these chords. And again, it was kind of one of those things where I'm sure you can even tell where I'll leave it and I'll come back to it another time. And then you can tell at that point, that's where it kind of goes into a different direction. And so I don't know, it's been with this song, I kind of almost tried to approach it where each time I sat down to work on it, it was almost like I was like remixing it, or like coming to it with like as a new person in a way. So yeah, there's a lot of different twists and turns in it, and a lot of different voices and stuff. And I guess for that reason, because it was made over a pretty intense year, I suppose. So.
Nah, I thought it was a good first single, because I feel like I feel like the sound at the beginning compared to where the song takes you is like, it's very, very unexpected but smooth at the same time. And that's a hard combo to fit, because it can be not smooth and still sound good. You can just have a quick break. It's a whole different beat over here, and then it can still sound fire.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
can be
is
sicko mode.
exactly. There's a follow in that song. Talk about, I guess, making the transition of the different parts of that song smooth. Because I think that as well with the lyrics, but with the sound, you take the listener somewhere. So talk about the transition of taking them from the beginning of that to the end.
Cool. Well, thank you. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was, I don't know, going through the song, I knew that at the beginning I wanted it to be kind of an intimate moment, a little bit more stripped down. And I wanted, I don't know, it just to be a little bit more like that. But I knew that I wanted it to pick up and be something in the end. I don't know. It's tough to say really what, if I had like a game plan or anything going into it. It's just in a lot of ways, it kind of just becomes what it becomes. And with this album, I really want there to be a big mixture of a lot of different sounds and a lot of different kind of electronic sounds, acoustic sounds, and everything. So I feel like, in a way, in this song, I've kind of summed up a lot of what I'm hoping to do with this next thing. So yeah, I don't know. I think subconsciously I ended up kind of doing that without even really trying.
Okay. Listen, I'm excited to hear that. That's what the new project is going to sound like. What can you tell us about the new project? Do you have anything in mind in terms of how long you want it to be? Like, where's your head at in terms of this new project?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm always like insecure and changing my mind and stuff. And I have like maybe 12 to 13 songs that are like yeah, at least at the halfway point. There's like maybe half of those that are like fully done, I guess. So I don't know. I'm hoping for it to be like a 14 song thing. I don't know when it's going to come out. I just want to make sure it's like what I like, what I'm happy with. But yeah, I don't know. I've been really into like Smashing Pumpkins and like some shoegazy stuff, and obviously I like a lot of hip hop stuff still. So we'll see what it turns out to be. Some of the songs are kind of skeletons right now, so we'll see. But I do want to make a bit of a darker sounding thing, but almost kind of like with a bit of a grunge element, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, you're probably one of the few people on the planet who can give me a vague answer for how the album's gonna sound, and I can say like so I know and that darker song you said, that's what I felt really on Two Sides. That Two Sides felt like just a shade darker than what I'm used to from you, as if you didn't turn off all the lights, or you turned off one of them. So I really feel that on there. This is a question that we ask everyone on the show because they say your top 5 people make you who you are. Now, your top 5 can be a 10 or it can be a 2. But who are the top 5 people in your life who help you be yourself?
Okay. It could be anybody. I don't have to know them. I can.
It could be anybody, and it don't even have to be 5.
Tight. Okay. Well, my grandpa makes me. He got me into music and took me to my first drum lesson, and has always been kind of the driving force for my like music education and stuff. So my grandpa makes me. My girlfriend Shauna makes me. She helps me a lot. Obviously, very supportive, and yeah. I mean, I'll stick with that. I'll stick with my top 2. They're the 2 people that make me who I am as of lately, I'd say.
Jeez, I like that. I like that a lot. But listen, I always say this: the top 2s are always stronger than the top 5s because
true, yeah.
a strong 2 is hard to come by.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's gonna argue with me on those 2. So.
No, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. This one I feel like we've gotten some more interesting answers for because everyone's mind is all over the place for quarantine. We're watching all kind of different things, and it's you see when people get a lot of money, they get exotic animals. Justin Bieber with his monkey, Mike Tyson with his tiger. Now, is there an exotic animal that you would consider once you get to that level of wealth?
Wow. Okay. Huh. Yeah, that's not where I thought that was gonna go. I don't know. Like, what's that one? There's like a cat, there's this like big cat, but it's like a domestic cat. That's like the huge dog size, but it's a cat. It starts with like
one of those gray ones.
I think. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I have all the money in the world. I don't have to know anything about it. I'm just gonna buy it.
True. Find, you know the one I'm talking about. Find it.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll get my assistant on the phone. He'll buy it. I'll get back to you.
Oh my gosh, man. No, I think I know the one you're talking about. Those would be fire for sure. Honestly,
yeah, I should probably look at it.
Yeah, and watching Tiger King. Did you watch Tiger King?
I feel like I don't have to because everyone's told me.
Yeah. Basically, everyone knows what happens. But seeing some of those clips of people having tigers in their house and tigers are walking around in the kitchen, I was like, man,
yeah,
this is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, it's a different level of wealth for sure.
Wild. This is the last one. Now, we do a segment on the show called Wednesday Wisdom. Our boy Brandon Gibbs has a new motivational quote every single week. Now, is there something that you keep in your mind, in your head, or that you tell other people whenever, it's a tough time?
I guess just that every feeling is temporary, I would say is probably a good one. It's something that's been on my mind lately, at least. It's pretty easy to like zero in on, like it's the end of the world or whatever. There's no getting out of this. But if you can get yourself through that freak out and that panic moment and allow yourself to think clearly and make the best decision for yourself, it's it's always possible and it's always temporary. So I guess that's my little wisdom for this particular Wednesday.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Just came to mind. Just came to me, you know.
I'm stealing that one. You heard it here first. I am totally stealing that one. You're gonna see me tweeting every night.
Yeah, you can sample it. Do whatever you want.
No, that was a good one. And the thing is, especially during this time, because I think like as this quarantine goes on and on, what I'm learning is it is the same for everyone, but different for everyone all at the same time. Especially I think about, I'm one of the few people who I was somehow expecting this. Like, you know, I was saying this before, and even that didn't change me being more prepared or anything like that, you know.
Right.
I've never been in a pandemic before. So things like that, saying every feeling is temporary, is extremely helpful, because do we even know what a day feels like anymore? Every day is 3 days and 5 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
and everybody's reacting differently too. Like you see it on a daily basis. It's people lash out in weird ways because of the pressures of what's going on in their life, and it's I don't know. I think it's important to remember that it's like everyone's going through it, and even if it's like you feel like someone's like messing with you, like it's like we're all going through it. Everything's temporary. Yeah,
I like that one a lot. I want to thank you again for joining us on In the Cut. If this is your first time listening to the show, make sure you subscribe to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a rating and a review, 5 stars, not a single star less. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube as well, at The Cool Table Live. By the time this is out, 2 Sides will be out as well, so make sure you go and stream that on all streaming platforms. And if someone wants to get CDs, is it too late to get CDs, or CDs are already gone? There's no more CDs happening?
There's a couple left if anyone wants them. So they're you can buy them on my website. It's IamAlexBent.com. So yeah, hit that link.
Hit that link, IamAlexBent.com. Make sure you get you a CD. And until next time, know yourself, know your worth.